Hey folks, good afternoon. Today is July 2nd, 2025. So glad you found this channel, 9 to 5 to Freedom. My name is Alex. We document our journey on investing in high yield dividends in order to achieve financial independence. So glad you found this channel. Folks, I'm really loving the amount of subscribers I've been getting. One of my videos really took off. So thank you for all those new subscribers. I'm doing weekly reviews on my portfolio, what I'm getting in dividends, and then daily videos, updates, and also some topics of discussion. So let's hop into it. We'll make it nice and brief. It's almost 4th of July, just one more day left in the market. We're about an hour away from market close today. And what a day today was, folks. So we're going to switch over again. Thank you for all the subs. We're at 246 subscribers. Look at this, 118 in the last 28 days. So really cool to see that. Much appreciated. Let's look at what's going on in the news. Okay, so there's some articles around here about Microsoft cutting some employees. So some news about some layoffs at Microsoft, 4% reduction in workforce. So stock's been kind of going down. Typically, it usually goes up with efficiencies being established, but who knows? Anyways, there's some talk about gas prices hitting all-time lows. I mean, that usually happens with the 4th of July coming around this weekend. Usually the prices do go down as, I don't know, a way to make people feel better. Today, S&P 500 is in the green, Russell's in the green, gold's in the green, down is floating around 0, and NASDAQ is up 0.8 points. So really cool recovery from what we've seen yesterday. Let's take a look here next. So yesterday we had, I lost, well, I didn't lose anything, but my portfolio went down like $7,400 with the huge dip that we had yesterday. It was like 4.5% down. So this is my portfolio. For those of you who are new folks, I'll just make a brief summary. Check out my more in-depth videos where I dive into each ETF that I'm holding, what it's paying in dividends, why I chose it, all that kind of stuff. So today we are in the green, folks. We're up 4.44%, which is really cool. Yesterday was very red. Today is very green. So we've almost clawed back everything that we were down on yesterday. I did not change any of my positions. I did not do any sales. I didn't take any losses. I'm just holding on. Okay, we'll sort by largest value. Misty really clawed back 5.88% today. We're up $3,200. Really nice. Now this is Misty week. This is when we're getting the dividends on end of this week. Should expect it on probably Saturday to kick in, with Friday being a holiday. The next one we're getting is also SMCY this week. So this one's been slowly crawling back. The underlier has been crawling back. But as you can see, overall portfolio, everything's green today. Really healthy green. Everything's, a lot of these are over 1% up. XDT barely went down yesterday. Today is up. Very nice to see. Now, for those who are new to this channel, you see XDT. This is one of my favorite ones. This is a very stable one, as well as QDT. QDT is from Roundhill, so is XDT. QDT is on the QQQ, the NASDAQ. XDT is on the S&P 500. You get more diversity with XDTE. So you typically have less upside and less downside. With QDT, you have a little bit more volatility. So today it's up 0.38% here, and overall we're up 1% on QDT. Why am I down on XDT? Well, I actually bought this right before the tariff announcement. Unfortunately, I put a lot of money in here. I got over $45,000. Initial cost basis was $48,000. You can see I'm down $2,800. I bought right before that huge dip that we had, so kind of got in the wrong time, but it's been recovery. I was low as 8%, and it's slowly crawling back. So really nice to see that. Everything else, though, look at this total gain loss. Okay, so XCT would cover that. PLTY, you see we're down, but we've been getting really nice dividends from this. So remember, your broker typically does not count in the dividends that you received in your total gain loss calculation. So the next one here is Tesla. Now this one's been very volatile today. We've seen a nice recovery, 4.5%. I'm only down as a whole 1% on this position, so not bad. Coney is one I'm watching. This one's very rocky, and I'm going to give an example as to the next topic we're going to cover today. I'm going to give an example on Coney. Well, you got to watch out with these YieldMax funds. AMDY, we had this dividend last week. We talked about it yesterday. This one hasn't really recovered yet. It's slowly crawling back, but it's down 5.4%. And then SMCY, this is another story similar to XDT, where I bought into this, at a high point. We've had a dip, but it's been crawling back. I was as low as 22% on this position. Looks like I'm only down 12.7% right now. And this is one of my smallest positions. I only have $4,600 of this ETF. TSMCY, it's green. So overall portfolio, okay, so we're down 0.43%, which is not bad. Let's talk about margin and total account. So in this portfolio, okay, 118,000 and a half is on margin. So I'm using margin. This is with Fidelity. I negotiated my rate to a fixed 6.375%. Very nice rate. What I'm doing is I'm capitalizing and arbitraging the margin. So if I need some money to pay bills, I use the margin. My dividends are paying off the margin. My own money right now, I have $160,000 in here. So between the two, we're looking at $278 something thousand. Okay, so that's the total account value. Now, I am a little bit high on margin, folks, and I've been getting some comments. Really appreciate the comments in the videos. You guys are talking about how, I'm might be a little bit over leveraged with some of these singles, and I do agree. I think I'm gonna maybe rebalance this a little bit eventually once I get a little bit more into the green. I think take some profits and then possibly increase my QDT XDT position. Those two are very stable. They pay on a weekly basis. And yeah, so that's what's going on with the portfolio. Really nice. It's a really nice thing to see this stuff come back. You see we just went down slightly, but that's how the market is. Okay, now I want to talk about what you have to watch out with these YieldMax funds. So for those who are new to YieldMax, one of the things YieldMax does is obviously it lures you with the high dividend. So when you go on their website, when you go to yieldmax.com or whatever it's called, YieldMax ETFs. So one of the things right away you see these advertisements for the different ETFs they have. For example, like Tesla, they're saying it's 67.65%, and obviously, YouTube and other platforms have a huge following on YieldMax because of these ridiculous distribution rates. Now, one thing that you have to watch out for, and this is something you learn once you do this, okay? We've had examples in these communities where people got pretty much wiped out. They're buying fool's gold, okay? They'll buy something and it's eroding and they think they're making money, but in fact, they're just getting their own money back, and they're just kind of wasting time and getting taxed on getting their own money back. So you got to really watch out for it. I'll give you an example. Okay, so in my portfolio, I did go into Coney a couple weeks ago. Okay, so I threw in $9,000 in here. As you can see, I'm down 4.63%. Now, if let's see here, I'm down $444. So the dividend that I got on Coney, this is my tracking sheet for the dividends. So Coney, I got $535 on the week of the 22nd. So 535. So if we go back here, as you can see, Coney in my account is down $444. So to really get the full ROI, you really have to count the dip. So 535, we'll put that in here, 535 minus, and we'll go back here, 444. Okay, I only got $91 on the $9,171 position. $91. Now imagine I get $91 And that's a position after it went down. Okay, so my initial position was 9,615. If you guys are following me, leave a comment below. So 91, let's say it's going to be like this every month. 91 times 12 is 1,092 per year. No, yep, that's right. Okay, so we divide that 9615. So that's about 11.3% ROI. At the end of the day, what really matters, folks, is ROI. Because think about it. If you're getting your dividend, it's going to decrease as the position decreases. If it continues to go down, and if we look at the chart, okay, Coney year to date is down 31%. Now, I bought, obviously, a couple weeks ago, I bought it at, let's see what my average cost basis is. Oh, let's see, Coney, 962. Now, this usually says it pretty high, but we'll just go with that, 962. So I bought around 962, which is over here. Now, imagine you were this poor soul who bought back at $14 on January. No matter how much you got in dividends, you've lost, like 33% of your money. So you always want to do full ROI calculation. And I'll show you this. This is a great archaic website that does a really good job showing you your total ROI. And I'm a big proponent of total ROI. So Coney came out back in 2023. If you bought Coney back on August 18th, 2023, and you put in $10,000, you would be ahead versus SPY. But let's say you bought it at the peak. Let's say you bought at 29.64. You were thinking this thing's going to continue to climb. 29.64. So I put that date in March 28th, 2024. And we're going to run a calculation through today. Compare that to the S&P 500. Now look at this. If you put the same money in Coney and in SPY, ending investment, Coney, 10,737, so you only made 5.8%. Or if you put that money into SPY, you'll be up 15.52%. So it really matters when you go in and what happens to the stock afterwards. And that's, any type of investing, that's what you're doing. You're speculating for it to go up. Even if it's a dividend investment, if it continues to go down, then you're just getting your own money back. So it needs to recover. Now, a good example of recovery is when we had the payout from Misty. Last time I got a Misty payout was on the beginning of June, and I got $3,900 from MSTY. And we're going to get a dividend this week from Misty as well. Now look at my portfolio here. MSTY, how we chilling here on MSTY? MSTY is up 1.73% since I purchased it. So we're total up $1,000 plus the dividend that I got. So we're actually up almost $5,000 on this investment. And that only took 1 month. So that is a good example of something that makes sense. Now, again, they're going to be volatile. They'll be up and down. But Misty, if you look at the Misty chart, it's very different from other charts. Look at this. Year to date, we're down 18%, right? Total, we started at 2160. We are sitting pretty much at the same dollar amount as when we started. And it hasn't really dipped below $20 much. The lowest one we had was back in, let's see here, I guess this was back in 2024. 1907 was the lowest point. So, and again, underlier is MSTR, which is built around Bitcoin. So a lot of speculation. But this is a good example of something that does make financial sense because we want to calculate ROI. Now, I just showed you Coney. Coney so far hasn't recovered very well, and we're going to watch it. AMDY has a very similar story. I experimented with it, and right now I'm not too impressed. I don't know if there's enough momentum. So that's what we got, folks. This is what I want covered today. I hope everybody has a nice green day, finishes strong. We'll see you on the next video, folks. Take care.